Hello, my name is Serena Lucas, and for my project, I'll be discussing the media's representation of rape culture. The failure to protect victims of acts of sexual assault and shifting the blame to women for their own assault is termed rape culture. This is when the traumatic assault of a woman is undermined and questioned. When men are given a pass and women are scolded for what they were wearing at the time of the attack, questioned on their sobrieties and their actions, and when a woman would rather stay silent than seek the prosecution of her perpetrator. Sexual violence and the consequences of rape culture are violations of human rights in which both the dignity and equality of women are not recognized. Rape culture is a human rights issue rooted in societies, the normalization of sexual violence in media, and victim blaming. We have seen this rape culture in media for years, whether it's over-sexualized commercial ads, movies, or victim blaming in the news media outlets. This has been a problem for decades. Throughout history, the media has significantly influenced and perpetrated rape culture. It has created an environment where sexual violence is utterly normalized and excused by society's beliefs and attitudes. This happens through all media outlets such as social media, news reporting, as well as entertainment media. In history, sexual violence and assault has been questioned, ridiculed, and criticized. Dating back centuries ago, victims of sexual assault were told how to deem their assault and abuse. The representation of assault dating back centuries has forever left victims of sexual assault mocked, ridiculed, and questioned, and even leaving victims to be embarrassed to speak their truth. Sexual assault has long been contested in history. In the 16th centuries, acts of sexual violence was considered to be a defilement of a man's property, either the father or husband, rather than being a crime against women. This set the precedent of disregarding a victim's feelings and trauma. Throughout the centuries, rape laws were changed. It went from being considered a property crime than an act of sexual violence, excluding prostitutes and marital victims. This went on to letting women go to trial, but ultimately this being a burden for their mental health as they were put on trial as if they were the perpetrator, both questioned and examined. This continued to go on throughout time, seemingly influencing society's thoughts against rape culture, leading to the precedent of rape culture representation in the media. Rape culture manifests through many different societal practices and attitudes, such as trivialization of sexual assault, victim blaming, as well as the objectification of bodies. And the media outlets are a direct source for it. Victim blaming and excusing offenders has been seen throughout history. Media reports will focus on the victim's clothing or behavior, implicitly placing blame on them. In some cases, the assailant is portrayed as charismatic or even misunderstood, downplaying their traumatic action. In these sexual assault cases, the victims can be ridiculed and shamed by the media, thus making it hard for others to speak their truth. And with celebrities or higher public cases, this can also influence the public's perception. A case of a woman shamed through the center of media exploitation is a woman named Monica Lewinsky. In the 1990s, Monica Lewinsky had an affair with the president at the time, Bill Clinton. This affair becoming public, sparking national media coverage. Monica Lewinsky was then subjected to shaming following this. She was scapegoated by the media. She was depicted in an often negative and sexual light throughout different news and entertainment outlets, dehumanizing her, cyberbullying her, and creating this culture of humiliation. This all resulted in serious mental and emotional distress on Monica. And while she's being painted out as the bad guy, nothing was being said about the other party involved, the male. All the blame was placed upon the woman. Monica's identity was written for her by the media. She was shamed for years. She went on to become an activist, drawing from her experiences, advocating for empathy for victims and the detrimental effects of online harassments, while also being supported with the Me Too movement. The persistent objectification of women's bodies in advertisements, music, and movies reinforce the idea that women are sexual objects. Films and movies will even sometimes romanticize aggressive sexual behavior, blurring the lines between consensual sex and assault. The media will often depict acts of sexual violence as a common or inevitable occurrence in society. The objectification of women's bodies have led to affecting the public's thoughts. For example, many different ads have come out sexualizing women's bodies. For example, an inappropriate Burger King ad came out in 2014 depicting a woman with her mouth wide open for a sandwich that they say is 7 inches long with the caption, "It will blow your mind away." The model for this ad went on to sue Burger King as she was not asked for consent to use this image in this racy, demeaning way, making her image appear as it is considering a sexual act. She goes on to say how this ad to her was like rape. This use of objectifying women has been seen for years through media over-sexualizing women and girls. Addressing the media's representation of rape has been an issue and attempt for many women over the decades. The creation of the Me Too movement has helped spread awareness and campaign against sexual abuse and sexual harassment and rape culture. It has become a safe space for survivors to share their experiences of sexual abuse or harassment. It has been around since 2006, but went viral in 2017 when actress Alyssa Milano also encouraged people to share their stories with the movement after being sexually abused by her producer Harvey Weinstein. The movement has since led to significant culture and workplace changes by exposing the prevalence of sexual misconduct and challenging existing power structures. By sharing, survivors highlight the widespread nature of these issues, moving them from an individual problem to a broad societal one, as well as holding perpetrators accountable and pressuring institutions, like companies and schools, to address misconduct and change in the workplace, also universities that enable it. The movement emphasizes supporting survivors in their healing and ensuring they are heard, which can include seeking justice through legal means or other forms of accountability. This has been a stepping stone in the representation of rape culture in the media, but everything is obviously still a work in progress. Rape culture remains an issue rooted in societal attitudes and reinforced by media representation. It is sad because the media has the power to challenge and bring an end to these harmful myths. It is up for these outlets and companies to address sexual violence and shape the media's representation of it in a non-victim blaming way. Through different approaches, society should be able to spread awareness for survivors, as well as dismantling this rape culture and overall fostering a safe and more respectable environment for all.